Michael Vick, 6 seasons with the Atlanta Falcons. Led the Falcons to the NFC Championship game following the 2004 season. Led the Eagles out onto the field moments ago and was one of the Eagles' captains who came out for the coin toss.
I like the move by Andy Reid. And it's something that a lot of coaches do. When you go back to where you grew up or where you have some history in your past, the head coach will usually let you walk out and be a captain. A nice gesture by Andy Reid.
Falcons won the toss. Eric Weems back deep. No onside kick to start the game from David Akers this week. Weems across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Darryl, during our open, we addressed some of the key inactives for today's game.
And look at that offense for the Atlanta Falcons, the backfield, the offensive line, and then your playmakers on the Philadelphia side also offensively. But linebacker Akeem Jordan, he's really kind of caused a shift all across the board in how they're playing that linebacker level. Will Witherspoon has moved from the middle linebacker to the weak side. Jeremiah Trotter gets the start today.
Chris Redmond came on in relief of the injured Matt Ryan last week, his first start since December of 2007. The handoff to Jarius Norwood, starting for the injured Michael Turner. Jeremiah Trotter makes the tackle after a gain of 6, and replacing Sam Baker and Harvey Dahl this afternoon are Will Svitek and Quinn Ojanaka.
Yeah, but I think Will Svitek has played a couple of times already this season for Sam Baker, has done a nice job. Quinn Ojanaka is the one I want to keep my eye on this afternoon. Harvey Dahl is that nasty presence that Atlanta Falcons is going to be missing this afternoon.
Goose told us Redmond likes working out of the shotgun. Out of the gun on second down, and the pass is short, intended for Roddy White.
Well, if he's going to really like that shotgun, he needs to go and take his time a little bit back there. He's got plenty of time. He has an extra 3 or 4 yards. Needs to make a better throw than he just did.
Well, sometimes this group of the Eagles defense will make you feel like you don't have enough time. They've got to get a little bit more pressure from Broderick Bunkley, Mike Patterson in the middle. And the big question that you pointed out in the open, Tony, is on the outside, especially Asante Samuel, but also Sheldon Brown. Will they test out that hamstring?
3rd down and 4, 3 wide receivers for the Falcons as Redmond throws high, intended for the 11-year vet Marty Booker.
Well, a couple of bad throws by Chris Redmond to start this series. He missed an easy one on 2nd down. He had Marty Booker right there, ran a nice route against Sheldon Brown, and just sails this one a little bit too high.
You know, when your adrenaline's flowing, Darryl, how you can go and get a little bit too much pumped up. He needs a little bit of time just to calm down. I think he's going to be okay.
So Michael Kanan working with a new long snapper, Joe Zelenka, signed this week, and the Eagles are without the NFL's leading punt returner, Deshaun Jackson. So it's Jeremy Maclin back deep for Philadelphia. Maclin takes it out to 13. Punch across the field. And he's tripped up by the punter. Kanan makes the tackle out across the 40. A 27-yard return by Maclin.
Well, Deshaun Jackson is going to be missed in the passing game, but also in the return game. He is the leading returner in the NFL. Atlanta's punt team has struggled mightily this season. You saw it right there. That's a great play by Michael Kanan.
Great hustle, great hustle.
But Jeremy Maclin made the first guy miss and then got all the way back across the field. Now he's going off the field limping a little bit. So now you've got both your explosive, get the ball to them with a lot of room to work type guys, with Deshaun Jackson out today, and now Jeremy Maclin limping to the sideline.
Jason Avant and Reggie Brown are the wide receivers. 2 tight ends on 1st down. McNabb hands off to Leonard Weaver, and Weaver gains 6 out to the 47-yard line, brought down by Mike Peterson.
I think that's what Philadelphia should do for the bulk of this afternoon. You know, lean on Leonard Weaver, lean on LaShawn McCoy to run the football, especially if Jeremy Maclin is now not 100%. These guys up front did a nice job last weekend against the Washington Redskins. The Redskins have a very good defense, and they ran the ball very effectively.
Yeah, and it seemed like the more handoffs that they got, the better they got as the game went on, too.
Jordan Norwood on the field, brought up from the practice squad this week. A rookie wide receiver out of Penn State. McCoy in the backfield. Inside handoff to LaShawn, and he's met immediately by Jamal Anderson. check out the Falcons' 27th ranked defensive unit.
And really the big issue for this group has been on the outside, and that's on the edges. And Curtis Lofton leads the league in tackles. That's because he's having to play sideline to cover. And when you talk about cornerbacks, Chris Houston, Christopher Owens, it's not just in pass coverage, but also in run support.
Macklin back on the field, 3rd down and 4. McNabb complete to Avant for a first down. Jason Avant had a big game last week against Washington. He gains 15.
Jason Avant really the spark in that game last week versus the Redskins, working out of the slot. Just a great cut. Chevis Jackson can't match the in and out that Jason Avant did getting out of that cut.
Now the tight end Selleck split out to the left. McCoy shifts into the backfield. McNabb pump fakes, screen to McCoy. McCoy first down and finally pulled down at the 27-yard line by Lofton after a gain of 14.
I mean, Darryl, we talk about it week in and week out whenever we have the Eagles games about how those big guys get out on that edge and get downfield. And McCoy does a great job of following them down the field to go and pick up the first down.
You heard the reaction with Michael Vick in for the first time. And Vick tackled by Troy Bierman after a gain of 4.
And I think it's exactly what we expected. It's going to be a mixed bag. There's going to be people that are very supportive of Michael Vick, and there's going to be people who are very disappointed in Michael Vick. And it's the exact same reception he got in Philadelphia when Philadelphia decided to give him the opportunity to come back to the NFL. Michael Vick's situation has been very polarizing. The one thing we did know, there would not be anybody who kind of sat down in their seat and didn't express some type of opinion.
McNabb back in, 2nd down and 6. McNabb can't find anyone. Now he throws. And the catch is made by McCoy. Tackled by Lofton. And a penalty marker on the far side.
Well, the quarterback was still in the pocket. Illegal contact. Defense number 23. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
That's on Chris Houston.
Again, this has really been the Achilles heel for this Atlanta team all season long. Their play at the corner, in pass coverage, run support.
Michael Vick back in the game for the Eagles. First and 10 from the Falcons' 19-yard line. Five-yard gain down to the 14. Troy Bierman along with Thomas Deku on the tackle.
It's very difficult for Michael Vick because he's in and out of the lineup. He can't get any rhythm going, and you see how that's impacted him this year. 3 for 9 for 6 yards passing the ball. And then even in the run, the area that we thought he'd be very dangerous, 65 yards, 34 of those coming on one run against Chicago. So I just think it's very difficult for him to get in any type of rhythm or flow during the course of the game because he's in and out so much.
Vick has been in for 2 snaps during the Eagles' opening drive from the 15 on 2nd and 5. McNabb rolling right. And now he throws to the end zone. Brent Selleck, the intended receiver, Mike Peterson, on the coverage.
I don't know. I think Donovan McNabb should have just pulled that one down. Pump that ball to Brent Selleck and pull it down and get the yards for the first down on your own.
Yeah, he could have definitely gotten the first down.
It's a good adjustment by Brent Selleck right here. Turn that into a little bit of a wheel route. But Donovan McNabb, look at all that area in front of him. He's still got the wheels to get that first down.
Instead, 3rd down and 5. forced to call timeout. Philadelphia Eagles facing a 3rd down and 5 from the Falcons' 15-yard line. McCoy in the backfield. 3 wide receivers plus the tight end center. Down over the middle, and it is dropped by Reggie Brown, who has only 3 receptions all season, getting a chance today due to the injury to Deshaun Jackson.
Well, you got to make this play. Reggie Brown coming in from the top spot. Little adjustment there, trying to come in behind Brent Selleck. Just loses his concentration, and that's why on the previous play, Donovan McNabb, take the yards for the 1st down. Give yourself another set of downs with the opportunity to score. It wasn't clearly there with the pass to Brent Selleck in the back of the end zone.
So David Akers, who has hit 16 in a row from the left hash, it is good. Eric Weems back deep. Out across the 25. And the Eagles say they have it, and they do. Tracy White on the recovery for Philadelphia.
Tracy White makes contact. Eric Weems has got it in the inside arm. Actually bumps it on Elder Buckley. Then it comes loose. Dropped straight to the ground. Caught a lot of people off guard. I don't think a lot of people saw that ball on the ground.
That ball was only tapped. It wasn't even stripped or ripped out. He's got to carry that ball tighter up, more towards his chest.
So an early turnover committed by the Falcons. Eagles take over at the Atlanta 22. Off the play fake. McNabb over the top, dangerous. Intended for Weaver.
He's got to be careful on those short screens. He's got to see those defenders because they're definitely looking for it, Darryl.
Well, he almost threw that one right to Thomas Johnson, the Atlanta defensive tackle.
You know, when you throw as many screens as the Eagles do as a defense, you're playing screen almost on every play.
2nd and 10. Avant split out to the left, Macklin to the right. McCoy is brought down back at the 26 by Stephen Nicholas.
That's nice penetration by Stephen Nicholas, coming right through. Watch him right here, just goes, gets penetration, he takes the inside gap, and the coaches always tell you, if you take that inside gap where you're gonna get closed off, you better go and make the play, and that's exactly what he did.
And Brent Selleck thought he was gonna be able to step a little bit wider to the outside. He was on that inside stunt, and he overreached.
Loss of 3, now 3rd down and 13. Play clock at 1. McNabb fires downfield. And the catch was made down at the 5-yard line by Reggie Brown.
Well,
nice comeback by Reggie Brown. He had the drop on 3rd down last time. Great job with his feet.
He made up for that last play, huh, Darryl?
He sure did.
It's a nice catch.
I tell you, that has been the story for the Atlanta Falcons. We talked a lot about their corners and pass coverage. It's not that they're out of position. It's just that they don't make the play right at the point of the catch. And Brent Grimes is right there and just can't get his hand on the ball.
On to the 4th reception this season for the Georgia native. Now on 1st and goal. McNabb to the end zone. And the catch is made for a touchdown by Leonard Weaver.
Great catch by a fullback, Darryl. That ball was way down near his feet. He went down and got that one.
Well, that's Mike Smith's biggest fear, is Donovan McNabb extending the play, and he's done it twice. You know, he looks like he's coming at you. He's pulling the ball down, and he's going to run, and all of a sudden, you have to respect that, so you kind of drop your guy in coverage, and the Atlanta Falcons leave Leonard Weaver open in the end zone.
Weaver's 3rd touchdown this season. So the Eagles capitalized. Akers kicking off for the third time. Weems, who fumbled moments ago.
We'll see how Chris Redmond gets started on this drive. A little bit shaky on that opening series. Only 3 plays.
First and 10 from the 28-yard line. Norwood bottled up. And he lost his helmet as well.
Well, if you're going to come out and try and play smash mouth with Philadelphia, you're going to be in for a long day. I mean, you don't have Harvey Dahl, who in my opinion kind of makes that whole line work. And then you talk about the right side. They've always said that Harvey Dahl and Tyson Clable, work really, really well together. How functional is that right side with Quinn Ojanaka in for Harvey?
On second and 10, the toss to Norwood. And he's upended a terrific tackle. Who said Asante Samuel can't tackle? Now Redmond on third and 10, complete to Roddy White for a Falcons first down in Eagles territory, a 23-yard pass play.
Looks like Chris Redmond settled down a little bit with this throw, Darryl.
Now you ain't kidding. This is a heck of a throw right here, Goose. Working against Asante Samuel. Now he's got to get a little bit square on that cut. You talked about it at the top, Tony. Asante Samuel is going to take some risk. If you round that route at the top and don't get it squared, he will undercut you and intercept it.
On first down, Jarius Norwood. Norwood down to the 44-yard line for a gain of 5. Quentin Michael brought him down.
Well, it's kind of funny, the perception that's changed down here in Atlanta. A couple of weeks ago, Matt Ryan, everybody, all the Atlanta fans, is Matt Ryan our guy? Did we, should we expect this much from him? And then all of a sudden he gets the turf toe and he's on the sideline, and what are we going to do now? What's happened to our season?
Penalty markers on second down.
False start offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. It's second down.
That's on Quinn Ojanaka. There's Matt, the Philadelphia native, not getting the opportunity to play against his hometown Eagles today.
Yep, there he is in that
Harvey
boot.
Dahl standing right next to him, too.
Still protecting him.
Yeah, them offensive linemen never far from their quarterback, I'll tell you.
Just in case.
That turf toe's no joke either. I've had that before. That's, you can hardly walk. Ever had that, Darryl?
No, knock on wood.
Oh, man.
Knock on wood.
I haven't either, Tony.
I'm sure, Kenny.
Second and 10. Redmond over the top, and it's batted down at the line. Redmond on third and 10, a penalty marker as Gonzalez was knocked down by Macho Harris. 2 flags.
Working out of the slot. I like
Pass interference, defense, number 35. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul, first down.
I like that play by Macho Harris, though. With Jose Leo Hansen still out, this is the last week he'll be out serving his suspension. Macho Harris has had to come in the slot, and Sean McDermott, the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, said that that's been one of their big adjustments that they've had to make. And I really like how he competed against Tony Gonzalez. I mean, when it's all said and done, Tony will be one of the best tight ends to ever play in the game, and he didn't back down at all.
On first down, this is Jason Snelling. Snelling fights his way back to the 44-yard line. Sean Jones made the tackle, loss of 1 on the play.
I'll tell you what, that Eagles defense and the linebacker crew is doing a great job in general of finding and sniffing out that run play and running to the ball. I mean, Darryl, we talk about it all the time about how fast this defense is. They are playing extremely fast today, especially on the edges, to shut down that Falcon offense.
And that's another negative play. Eagles defense leads the league in negative plays this season. Inside handoff, and there's another one as Norwood is tackled back at the 46-yard line.
Well, here's one of the reasons that I think Atlanta should be throwing the ball a little bit more. There's been a lot of injuries at the linebacker level. and they've had to make a lot of adjustments. But when you're playing run defense, it's not as difficult as it is with your responsibilities in the passing game. And one of the things that Philadelphia has struggled with because of all the changes and the guys in new positions are their assignments. They're going to be good in the running game. Challenge their assignments in the passing game.
Now 4 wide receivers on 3rd down and 13. Falcons must get to the 33, and Redmond has another pass batted down at the line, this time by Darren Howard.
And you can't get into obvious passing situations against the Eagles because they make adjustments on the inside. Now Victor Abiamiri and Jason Babin are your inside guys. They're more of natural pass rushers than they are against the run. So once you get into those obvious situations, you're putting a lot of pressure on your offensive line.
And they're going to bring it defensively.
There's Macklin, who had that big return earlier. Kanan back at his own 40. End over end. And a fair catch. Falcons quarterbacks coach Bill Musgrave going over the Polaroids with Chris Redmond.
You're trying to figure out what this Eagles defense is trying to take away from, but the offense changed the field position a little bit. Let's see how Atlanta's defense does now.
Sean McCoy, gain of just 1. Chauncey Davis made the tackle.
It's always a function of the team, the 3 phases of your football team, and so far today, it has been all Philadelphia. They've been given short fields because of special teams, a fumble on a kickoff and a long punt return by Jeremy Macklin. Finally, the offense gets a little bit of positive movement with the ball, and they're able to kind of pin Philadelphia back. We'll see if this defense can respond now.
Second down and 9. Play action. McNabb with time. And he hits McCoy out of the backfield, not much. Curtis Lofton, you mentioned, Darryl, the leading tackler in the entire league, brings down McCoy, a gain of just 2.
Curtis Lofton is impressive, and whether it's sideline to sideline or in coverage. And here it is. It's pressure. Again, it's Donovan McNabb with the ability to move and extend and kind of hold off a little bit. Thomas Johnson getting there late, but you dump it down to LaShawn McCoy, and Curtis Lofton, when he gets your hands on you, you're going down to the turf.
Third down and 7. Eagles must get to the 18-yard line. McNabb fires, incomplete, and a penalty flag.
I just don't like the area that Philadelphia is attacking. The majority of our throws right now are into the middle of the field, and when you watch the film, you can see how mightily Atlanta struggles.
Before the pass was thrown, holding, defense number 22. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Chevis Jackson.
They just struggle so much on the outside, on the perimeter. And right now, Philadelphia is really working the middle of the field. Chevis Jackson, number 22 on the right side of your screen, working against Jason Avant.
Yeah, you just can't grab that jersey. He grabbed his shoulder pad and pulled it. The official's always going to see that. A lot of eyes out there on that field.
Third Falcons penalty, and automatic first down. From the 16-yard line. Off the play fake. McNabb, what a catch by Weaver. Leonard Weaver inside the 30, down to the 25, finally dragged down by Owens. The fullback Weaver gains 59 yards.
Darryl, you take this one, man. I was going to take it, but you take this one. Go ahead.
Well, we already saw the hands of Leonard Weaver on the touchdown catch. You thought that one was special when it was low on the back hip. Watch this one. Gets the one hand out, flicks it back, picks it up. And
That's
now the move right here. Look
right
at that
there.
move. Look at the presence. That's like Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett used to say he could see all 11 guys on the field.
That's athleticism at that fullback position. Needs a little break now, though, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, 59 yards. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
From the 25, McCoy gains 3 down to the 22.
There's signings in the offseason that generate a lot of attention, and then there's some signings that nobody really talks about. And the addition of Leonard Weaver to this offense, to me, is one of those great examples of a guy who'll do anything you ask him to do for the team. And when Philadelphia has struggled in the past in their 3rd and short, I think that Leonard provides you a great opportunity there. He's going to be great in 3rd down pass protection to give Brian Westbrook a break from time to time when he's playing. And we've seen several occasions this year his ability to make big plays down the field.
2nd down and 7. McNabb to the outside to Macklin. Russell down by Chris Houston after a gain of 7.
There you go. Get out on the edge. Get away from Curtis Lofton. Get away from Thomas Deku and Eric Coleman, the safeties in the middle of the field. Get out there and work that edge.
So 3rd down and 1 upcoming. By the way, that 59-yard pass to Weaver, longest completion for McNabb this season. Kevin Cobb had a 71-yarder to Deshaun Jackson. Well, for McNabb, his longest. 3rd down and 1. And the play is blown dead.
Yeah. Well, this has been an Achilles heel. It continues to be the Achilles heel for this offense. Yeah.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, offense number 82. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
Tight end Alex Smith.
You know, with them running the ball right up the middle, he doesn't really even have to come off the ball. I mean, he can really stay in his stance. I don't know why he's firing out. They're attacking the middle of the field. No reason for him to be offsides.
Forces the Eagles back to the 21. 3rd down and 6. Third down, a pump fake. Now he throws, and it's high. Intended for McCoy. So the Eagles will send out the field goal unit with 1 second remaining in the 1st quarter.
Well, the Atlanta Falcons doing a good job getting some push up the middle. We've seen Donovan McNabb be able to extend some plays, move towards the line of scrimmage to draw defenders in, and then be able to make a throw. That time, a good job by those guys up front, staying in their rush lanes, not allowing him to step forward.
You saw those linebackers all over that middle of the field, too, like you've been talking about all day so far.
39-yard attempt by Akers. It is wide to the left. Well, the Falcons take over from their own 29-yard line. Redmond looking for Roddy White, and there is a flag.
Before the pass was thrown, illegal contact, defense, number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Sheldon Brown.
That's what they need to do. They need to test Sheldon Brown, find out how healthy that hamstring is against Roddy White. But now right here, you know, that's as much Roddy White as it is Sheldon Brown, so they got away with that one. But, you know, run by him. See how that hamstring is. It's been 2 weeks. I mean, a couple weeks ago against Chicago, a lot of people were surprised he played, and really, you know, since that time, nobody's really tested him. Washington, very conservative last week, and their game plan never really tested him.
Looks like he's favoring it down here, just walking around.
Weems in motion, 1st and 10 from the 34. The end around to Weems. And Weems takes it up to the 42-yard line before he was forced out of bounds by Jones, a gain of 8.
Looks like Chris Redmond really kind of starting to settle down a little bit. And, you know, not surprising to see that there could be, you know, a little bit of rust he's got to knock off. I don't know if a lot of people realize, you look there from 2004 to 2006, he was out of the league. And really, when Bobby Petrino became the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, that kind of gave him the opportunity to get back into the NFL because of their relationship going back to his days at Louisville.
2nd and 2. Snelling picks up a 1st down and more as he spins into Eagles territory. A gain of 10 for Jason Snelling, who has run well this season when filling in for Turner at Norwood.
Jason Snelling, and we said this a couple of weeks ago when he was filling in for Michael Turner. He jumped into a game against the Redskins, spur of the moment, then carried him against Carolina the following week. You have to have people, and it's just like Leonard Weaver on Philadelphia, you have to have guys like Jason Snelling. They're there to do whatever you ask them to do. They love the game. They want to be a part of the team.
From the 48, the toss to Snelling. Snelling down to the 44-yard line. He gains 4. Robert Bunkley made the tackle. And getting back to Redmond, during the 2005 offseason, spent some time with New England, then training camp with Tennessee, but 3 consecutive regular seasons away from football. And he said during that time selling insurance, he learned not to take anything for granted anymore.
Well, I talked to him also about the insurance thing. He says he really didn't do very well selling insurance, so he had to get back into something else.
Now an insurance policy for the Falcons with Matt Ryan out. His 11th career start, drafted by the Ravens back in 2000. Second down and 6. Couple of pump fakes, and then he's spun down, got rid of the football, and then he was met by Trent Cole.
Those Eagles defensive line are doing a great job, and the linebackers are getting their hands up. We saw a couple tip balls earlier, and actually them getting their hands up on this particular play forced Chris Redmond to pull the ball down. See him right here. Now watch it. You see some hands popping up, getting in his way so we can't see the receiver downfield. That's a great job by that defense.
Trent Cole is just relentless. I mean, he's the one guy up front that you have to be aware of, but he needs some help. He needs somebody else on that line to step forward and generate some pressure.
Cole, 5th of the league in sacks. Redmond just 1 for 6. 3rd down and 6. This time he was looking for the tight end, Gonzalez.
And it's Trent Cole again in there hurrying that throw.
And he is relentless, like you said, Darryl. He just comes. He came on a little delayed blitz on that one, but he just keeps coming and coming and coming.
When you've got a guy that's a great speed rusher, the one thing you do as a tackler, you get back and you're kind of light on your feet waiting to see where that move is going to be. But on that last one, you saw how Trent Cole can get real low and all of a sudden bring that bull rush and just drive that tackle straight back.
Doing it against the Falcons offensive line without 2 starters today. Kanan punting from his own 45. Macklin lets it go. And it stays out of the end zone. McNabb out of the shotgun on 1st down. From his own end zone. Takes off. McNabb with a 1st down and more as he slides out to the 18-yard line.
That's a great play by Donovan to get him out of that backed up end zone, huh, Darryl?
But, you know, Tony, I mean, back to the ball coverages against a guy like Donovan McNabb, you know, you work so hard to create some field position for yourself. I mean, look at that void. I mean, here comes Eric Coleman. Look how far down the field he was. He still hasn't made it to Donovan McNabb yet.
16 yards for McNabb. The 18. Weaver found a hole, and he's tripped up. After picking up another Philadelphia 1st down, gain of 17 for Leonard Weaver.
If he hadn't had that 59-yarder that took some gas out of the tank, he might have gone the distance here, Goose.
He might have. He does a nice job of coming through the line of scrimmage and then just turning up straight up. He doesn't get chipped right there. I like his low level. See how he's leaning forward and not giving anybody a target to hit. He's got them shoulder pads nice and low. That makes it so difficult for the defense to go and even tackle the guy. You know, he's going to run you over.
Good job by Alex Smith on that long trap block from the tight end spot.
Eagles have gained 33 yards on 2 plays. McCoy out to the 39. Thomas Johnson made the tackle, a gain of 4 for the rookie out of Pitt. LaShawn McCoy filling in once again for Brian Westbrook. Both Westbrook and Deshaun Jackson out with concussions.
Pretty balanced for a Philadelphia Eagle afternoon at this point right now. Almost 50-50.
2nd down and 6. McNabb, bit high, intended for Avant.
He mistimed his jump on that one. Watch at the end of this route, Jason Avant, as he comes out, he jumps a little bit too early. He's coming down as the ball's coming in. Ugh.
Third down and 6. McNabb over the middle. Intended for Macklin.
He had him wide open. He just had a bad throw right behind him.
Yeah. You load up the right side, put Jeremy Maclin out to the left, and then just drag him across the formation. As you pointed out, Tony, he's going to get the first down, but you got to get it out in front of him. Coming across the field like that, to have it on your back hip with all your momentum going forward is such a difficult catch.
First punt today for Sav Rocca. Williams lets it bounce, and then takes it on the run. Oh, and then he's drilled. Brought it out to the 25-yard line.
You know, Harvey Dahl is out of the lineup today. We've talked about Matt Ryan and Michael Turner not being in and the impact they've had, but he's your nasty guy. And I think those guys are so important during the course of the season, during a game when they're out of the lineup. And really, for me, Philadelphia, you know, John Runyon was that guy. And without John Runyon there this year, you know, who's going to be that guy that steps up and assumes that role? For us, when we had our teams in Dallas, it was Eric Williams. I mean, Eric Williams was a real dominant right tackle in the NFL for a long time, and a lot of it was based on him being just a nasty guy to play against.
Oh, he'll take a swing at you now. I played against him. That does take that element out of it when you're missing a guy like that. I mean, the whole offensive line plays different.
Norwood gained 3 on first down. Now on 2nd and 7, fights to get back to the line of scrimmage. And we've done a number of Falcons games this season and have talked about the right side of the line, Harvey Dahl, and right tackle Tyson Clabo. Head coach Mike Smith told us earlier this season both guys are probably average on their own, but really good together.
Yeah, there's a theory in mathematics, and you know, the whole is equal to the sum of its parts. But when you talk about Harvey Dahl and Tyson Clabo, maybe that doesn't work out. Maybe there's some kind of chemistry and continuity between those two guys. We had a chance to talk to them. They're like an old married couple. They're hysterical. So
there's another situation, Darryl. You don't want to put Chris Redmond in 3rd and 7, a known passing situation. Look at his defense on the line of scrimmage.
Redmond just 1 of 7 so far. The pass was tipped for the 3rd time. Redmond had a pass deflected at the line. Falcons go 3 and out.
When you don't have a lot of film on somebody, you've got to study the system. And Sean McDermott, that was his challenge this weekend with his guys as the coordinator for the Eagles. You kind of look at what Atlanta wants to do. There was a lot of tipped balls last week against Tampa Bay when he came in, so there has to be something there. There has to be something that's causing that, and it's a good adjustment by Sean McDermott in that Eagles defense to recognize it and keep it going again this afternoon.
Garrett Howard with his 2nd deflection of a Redmond throw today. Maclin tackled immediately. Eagles lead the Falcons 10-0. Philadelphia lost their left tackle, Jason Peters, on the last series, so Todd Harriman's moves to the left side. Nick Cole moves from right guard to left guard. Max Gene Gillis in at right guard.
Yeah, let the dominoes start to fall. He just disrupted the entire continuity of your starting 5 with 1 injury.
1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. McNabb over the top, and the pass is caught by Maclin into Falcons territory inside the 25, the 20, finally tackled at the 15-yard line by Eric Coleman, a 56-yard catch and run.
One missed tackle, and that's what it could turn into.
Well, we saw this route earlier in the game, right, Tony? Here it comes again. Clear out the left side. Here comes Maclin from the top, underneath. Last time Donovan McNabb had it on his back shoulder. This time he gives him an opportunity to catch and run. And look at the separation speed of Jeremy Maclin. Good job by Reggie Brown working down the field, blocking.
Jeremy Maclin does a good job of using that umpire, too, as a sort of a distraction for the defender to help him get open a little bit.
Well, the Eagles in the red zone for the 4th time today. From the 15, off the play fake. McNabb to his right. Can't find anyone, and then throws it away.
Good coverage on Brent Selleck. Number 87 working against Mike Peterson. Got to sell that a little bit more. You're not going to get Mike Peterson to bite on that. You can't just put your hands on him and keep your hips square. You've got to kind of turn your body like you're initiating the block if you want Mike Peterson to move in that direction and then be able to come out the back door and get separation.
McNabb on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, penalty markers, Avant, touchdown. There are 2 flags, one at the 5-yard line, the other back at the 22.
Looks like you would have defensive holding, offensive holding,
There
which
were
would
fouls
offset.
by both teams on the play. Illegal hands to the face, offense number 62. Illegal contact, defense number 50. The penalty's offset. Replay, second down.
Max Gingilla, 62, coming in from the right side, gets his hand on there and starts to drive it. Takes the helmet right off. And then illegal contact by Curtis Lofton on Jason Avant. Boy, Curtis Lofton's drawn some tough responsibilities so far in this drive. Jeremy Maclin coming across in a crossing route. It was a zone coverage, but still, that's a lot of speed coming your way through your zone, and that time man-to-man on Jason Avant.
Full receiver set on second down. Pass is dropped by Maclin.
Right now, the Eagles, which we've seen in the past, they get into these little lulls, and they had a 3rd and 1 with a false start that cost them points because David Akers missed the field goal after they couldn't convert on 3rd and 6. Now they've got a touchdown that gets called back. They were offsetting penalties, but more points come off the board right now. They've got to find a way to put teams away when they get into this situation.
McNabb on 3rd and 10 under pressure, forced to throw it away. He saw Jebus Jackson coming.
Going to come clean off the edge to Donovan McNabb's right.
David Akers 1 for 2 today. Hit from 33, missed from 39. This a 33-yard attempt from the left hash. Akers' kick is good. Akers kickoff taken out of the end zone by Weems. Joe Mays the tackle at the 21. First and 10 from the 21-yard line. Redmond's pass is caught by Roddy White. Redmond's second completion. Both have gone to White. This one 34 yards.
Well, finally, test out that hamstring on Sheldon Brown. Let's see how it's doing. Look at the top of your screen. 84 versus 24. I don't know if Sean Jones is supposed to have help over the top, but I tell you what, he ran right away from Sheldon Brown.
That's one way to go and stop them batted balls in that line of scrimmage is throw downfield. You can elevate that ball.
First and 10 from the 44. The give to number 44, Jason Snelling. Snelling gains 4. Second down and 6 for the Falcons. Redmond looking for Gonzalez, and it's nearly intercepted by Jones.
Well, that was one of the things we talked about at the top, you know, for the Atlanta Falcons. Keep feeding the ball to Tony Gonzalez. I tell you what, right now, a team that has really struggled against tight ends all season long has done a nice job against one of the best to ever play the game. He doesn't have a catch yet today.
He had 9 last week in the win over Tampa Bay. 977 receptions in his career.
I think some of those batted balls up on the line of scrimmage were meant for that guy right there.
Redmond on 3rd and 6. Looking for Gonzalez. Macho Harris on the coverage.
You're not going to see that very often. It's on the back shoulder, but Tony Gonzalez can make anything look easy. I tell you, Macho Harris is doing a nice job. He's drawing him in coverage one-on-one.
Yeah, he's throwing his timing off completely off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Getting on him and sticking with him. And
feisty little guy.
yeah. He's fighting him, man. You got to appreciate that. He's fighting him out there.
Maclin called timeout.
You look how tight it is at the top in the NFC East. 2 games separating the Giants and the Cowboys. The Eagles sandwiched in the middle.
Giants started the season 5-0. Have lost 5 of their last 6. Their only win during that stretch over these Atlanta Falcons. Canaan's 5th punt today. And again, he places it inside the 10. Down at the 9-yard line. This Weaver by himself has nearly outgained the entire Falcons team. Weaver into the arms of Mike Peterson. This is the third time the Eagles have started, Darryl, inside their own 10-yard line.
Well, they're starting to be able to affect field position, but Philadelphia has responded well. They've been able to come out backed up and their end of the field and not turn the ball right back to Atlanta, you know, out near midfield. They've been able to get a couple of first downs and then punt, and they've even gotten some field goals off of this poor field position.
Second down and 9. 3 receivers plus the tight end Selleck. And McNabb has a pass batted down at the line.
I guess the Falcons defense decided, let's look at our hands up and try and bat some balls, maybe get a turnover.
I just don't know why they're not going out in the perimeter, Tony. I mean, everything is geared to the middle of the field right now. And, you know, we've had Atlanta quite a bit this season, and they have admitted themselves that, you know, boy, sometimes we don't like our matchups outside. You know, we're kind of vulnerable out there on the perimeter, whether it's the run game, the screen game, the drop back passing game. And Philadelphia very focused on the middle of the field between the numbers.
Jamal Anderson with the deflection, now third down and 9. McNabb in trouble, down he goes. Back at the 6-yard line. The rookie out of Richmond, Lawrence Sidbury, his first NFL sack.
But Jonathan Abraham got it going, Goose.
Yeah, only rushing 3 guys. I mean, to get pressure with just 3 guys on the defensive line. That offensive line's got to do a better job of matching up and knowing what you're getting. See a lot of offensive linemen standing around. You got to get on somebody. You could double almost everybody on that defensive line, and they don't. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Sam Rocca's second punt out of his own end zone. Weems from the 41. Across midfield. To the Eagles 45. Eldrin Buckley made the tackle. 53-yard punt. 14 on the return. Terrific field position for the Falcons.
Well, their defense finally came out and forced a stop after the punt team has created that opportunity. And you look at the first 5 possessions for the Atlanta Falcons today. Some tough starting points for them also. But now all 3 phases kind of work together on that exchange of possessions. And now they're in the Philadelphia territory as they start this drive.
They have not been inside the Eagles' 40-yard line all game. From the 45, Redmond off the play fake, rolling right. Now he throws, what a hit by Samuel on White.
There's somebody who just, that's a little bit of rust on Chris Redmond right there. It's a roll cover 2. Asante Samuel is going to turn, and it's going to look like cover 2, like he should carry the receiver down the field, but he's going to roll off of him and come back to the flat.
I think Asante Samuel wants to go and prove to everybody that he can tackle also.
Andy Reid thought it should have been ruled a catch and a fumble.
But there's 2 parts to this. Number 1, it has to be a fumble. And then number 2, there has to be the clear recovery. Did anybody get on it for the Philadelphia Eagles?
The defense to recover the ball when the ruling on the field is incomplete in that situation.
Exactly what you said, Darryl.
There is no challenge and no challenge charged. It's second down.
Exactly what you said. There was no recovery by the defense.
Yeah, it's a 2-part. When you have that situation, if somebody would have made a clear recovery by the Eagles immediately, then Andy Reid would have been able to challenge the fact that it was not an incomplete pass, but a catch fumble recovered by the Eagles.
And you heard the referee at Hocula. He said the rule requires a recovery by the defense. So no challenge. Second and 10 from the Eagles 45. Redmond complete to Gonzalez. After Samuel missed on the tackle, it's Chris Gokong who brings down Tony Gonzalez after a gain of 8.
Well, you take your big hits when you got your big hit opportunities, and we saw one by Asante Samuel earlier on Roddy White. But this one, you know, go make the tackle. All right, you know what? It looked like he was going more for the ball. It looked like maybe he thought he was going to be able to jump that route in front of Tony Gonzalez and get a pick.
A little late on that one.
Samuel, 2 interceptions last week against the Redskins. 3rd down and 2. This is the deepest penetration by the Falcons today, as Redmond is taken down back at the 39-yard line by Darren Howard, who's had a strong first half. And it looks like the Falcons are going to go for it on 4th and 4 from the Eagles 39. Falcons are 10 of 12 on 4th down this season.
You look at that and you say, why not? It is a tough field goal. It's going to be, you know, a 56, 57-yard field goal. You've got Michael Kanan, who can kick long ones, but you've also just signed Matt Bryant, who's got a strong leg too.
Falcons must get to the 35. And they do. Well, let's see. Gonzalez made the catch, and it will be spotted at the 44 with forward progress. So a Falcons first down.
There's some better timing.
Well, if you're Philadelphia, you got to know it's going to go right there to Tony Gonzalez. They gave him too much of a cushion and didn't go and press him like we saw all game on the line of scrimmage. Makes that catch easily.
That's pretty impressive. 11 of 13 now on 4th down for the Atlanta Falcons this season.
From the 33-yard line, this is Jarius Norwood. Gain of 2 down to the 31. Samuel made the tackle.
There's a nice tackle by Asante Samuel there. I wonder if that's a little bit of a grimace. He's been battling that neck stinger for the last few weeks. Nice job getting the head across.
And wrapping up,
yeah,
too.
For all you guys, see how his head goes across to the outside leg. If not, if you get on that back leg, it gives Jarius Norwood the opportunity to break that tackle. But by getting that helmet across the body to make him run through your entire body to break the tackle, very difficult for the runner.
Redmond calls timeout. 2nd down and 8. At the 31. Redmond, the quick out to Ronnie White.
Gosh, look at Trent Cole. Man.
I'll tell you what, sideline to sideline, he covers it all. Man, he's got some speed to get out there and make that play.
Watch him. Recognizes it, just hustling. Oh, he reads that quick, doesn't he, Goose? He gets off of Tony Gonzalez fast.
That's a great defender right there, where you can go and recognize what's happening and know the angle of what to take to go and be a part of the play.
Down the 27-yard line, 3rd down and 4. Redmond over the middle, nearly intercepted. There is a flag. Pass intended for Gonzalez.
See if Trent Cole went helmet to helmet, or lowered his helmet on Chris Redmond.
Will Witherspoon read that quick, huh?
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 39, helmet contact, 15-yard penalty, first down.
My fault, this is actually Quentin Demps. He's coming off the edge on the blitz. There's more face mask, though. You know, he didn't lower the crown of the helmet. I understand. Right now, the concussion situation, the issue is so big in the NFL, as well it should be. But that one is, you know, I guess it's because you went to the head of the quarterback, but he didn't lower the crown.
1st and 10 from the Eagles 14. Redmond to the end zone. He was looking for the tight end, Justin Peel.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 26, to a defenseless receiver. After this is to the goal, first down.
And that will take us to the 2-minute warning here in Atlanta. So 1st and goal from the 7. Snelling, Jason Snelling takes it all the way down to the 1-yard line.
The Philadelphia Eagles continue to make things difficult for themselves, and credit this Atlanta offense for hanging in there and taking advantage of their mistakes. They have an opportunity. You punch this in, and it's 13-7 at halftime. And Philadelphia has got to walk into that locker room and go, how is this only a 1-possession game? And it's because they allow these teams to stay close. They've got to finish drives.
They need a knockout puncher, exactly right, Darryl.
The direct snap to Snelling. And he is stopped short.
I don't know. I'm just
not a big fan.
I'm not. I understand why the Miami Dolphins have used it and why they have success with it, but I don't think it's that good of an offensive weapon for everybody else around the league to mimic.
Yeah, if you get a direct snap to Jason Snelling, it's not like he's going to throw the ball.
Redmond back under center, 3rd and goal. Snelling.
Tough decision right now for Mike Smith. He went for it on 4th down earlier on this drive. I mean, they are getting no movement against this Eagles front. Look at how many Eagle defenders are on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Sean McDermott should be happy with that. He's got 4 of his players in the Atlanta backfield.
And it looked like Mike Smith was going to let the clock run down before calling a timeout. So Andy Reid uses his final timeout with 21 seconds remaining.
I don't know, Darryl, do you put points on the board or do you try to go for 7 here?
That's a tough one, Goose. You know, most times, you know, the home team, you take, you know, you can be a little bit more aggressive, you know, take your time to come up with a good play. Looks like, yeah, Chris Redmond's back in the huddle. It looks like they're going to go for it.
I like this.
You're 11 for 13 during the course of the season. You should have a bunch of confidence. But again, you have to remember, you don't have Harvey Dahl, you don't have Michael Turner in there. So it's definitely going to impact what your decision would be. It'll be interesting to see what offensive coordinator Mike Mularkey is going to draw up here. He's tried to run it into the middle of this Eagles defense 3 times in a row and has gotten nothing.
Well, the way that defense has been coming, play action could be one of the answers.
3 tight ends. 4th and goal. Snelling stops short. What a job by the Eagles defensive unit.
They never tested the edge of that Eagles defense. Watch Jeremiah Trotter, number 54. This is what he does. He comes up and he attacks the A-gap, completely moves everything out. And the penetration again. I mean, you've got 4 or 5 Eagle defenders at the 4-yard line. That's a great stand by this Eagles defense going in at halftime. I mean, a 13-7 game, a 1-possession game after the way this first half is evolved. You know, you got to go in questioning yourselves about what's going on. That defense for Philadelphia just gave a tremendous amount of momentum.
4 opportunities for Jason Snelling. He could not cross the plane. So the Eagles will take a 13-0 lead into the locker room at halftime. We saw 2 plays from Michael Vick early.
Atlanta had an opportunity after playing a very poor first half to be 1 possession out of this game. From starting at the 1-yard line, they couldn't do it. So a great job by that Eagle defense, kind of rescuing that first half.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. McNabb on the slant, complete for a first down to Macklin. Gain of 13 out to the 33-yard line. Goose?
You know, I had an opportunity to talk to Mike Smith going in about, you know, his decision to go for it on 4th down. And he said, listen, Goose, I don't know if we'll ever be down there again. I got to try and go and put 7 points up. And, you know, I'm going to stick by my decision. Personally, I thought it was a good decision, too, Darryl.
The way the first half was going, Tony, I couldn't agree with Mike's perception on that anymore. You never know when you're going to get an opportunity to be inside the 5 again.
Nice cutback move by Weaver. And Leonard Weaver picks up 12 more yards out to the 45.
Leonard Weaver's like the deciding factor today in this game. I mean, he's had some great runs right here. That nice cut back. He goes when he decides he's going to go upfield. He lowers his shoulder and gets it done.
This cut right here. Just, I mean, Eric Coleman's got him right in his sights, and just a nice quick, I mean, doesn't stop his feet. I mean, for a big guy, he's got great light feet.
98 yards in all for Weaver today. From the 45-yard line, McNabb spins, and then he throws it into the ground in the direction of Weaver.
This is such a good job by Jonathan Babineau on this play. It's really up to the defensive lineman to shut down the screen. Watch 95. It's the double screen. You fake it one way, you come out the other side. Jonathan Babineau is in Leonard Weaver's hip pocket. That's a great job of recognizing the screen and then retracing, getting back, picking up the element of the screen. You're looking for a running back number.
An eligible receiver downfield offense, 67 and 72. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
You know, Moose, you're absolutely right with Jonathan Babineau. Identifying something's a little suspicious right now and getting in the hip pocket of Weaver and sniffing out that screen.
Falcons declined the penalty. A reminder, Eagles lost their left tackle Jason Peters in the first half. So Harriman to left guard, moved to left tackle. Nick Cole to left guard, and Max Gillis in a right guard. And McCoy is out of the backfield by Mike Peterson.
That's a nice job of Mike Peterson recognizing this. Watch 53 come in here. Brent Selleck cannot get down in time to cut him off. Good job of trusting your instincts and getting into the backfield to beat that down block by Brent Selleck.
Loss of 2 in the Sean McCoy today. 6 carries, only 2 yards. Fortunately for the Eagles, Weaver has picked up big chunks. 3rd down and 12. McNabb with time, complete to the tight end, Selleck. But he is stopped just short of a first down.
Well, the Eagles are going to have a tough decision now because he's short of that first down. Nice job of chipping on the way out. Slow that pass rush down. You got Todd Harrimans, a guard who's out playing left tackle, going against Croy Bierman, who's a good speed rusher off the edge.
He needed 12, he gained 11. Eagles will go for it on 4th down.
Oh, who's that?
Eldra Buckley. It will depend on the spot.
Jonathan Babineau almost pulled it off, Goose. He submarined through there and was in the backfield quick.
He got the penetration they needed. They just need that linebacker coming over the top.
Watch 95 get into the backfield. Watch the surge. He'll come through, and he's right there, but he's on the ground. You see 95 right there. Gets a shoulder into the knees of Eldra Buckley, but can't get him down. That's a great job. And as you pointed out, Tony, there was just nobody behind him to stop that pile from moving.
You need a guy down low getting the penetration, and the linebackers up top stopping the momentum.
So Buckley has scored a big touchdown last week, picks up the first down on his first carry today, and now McNabb fires as he was hit, and the catch is made for a first down at the 30-yard line by Jason Avant. 15-yard pass play.
Now, you don't expect your quarterback to get hit on this one. This is one of those max protections. You've only got 2 guys out on the route. It's a double route. That's why it's max protection, because it's going to take a while to develop. So this right here at the end shouldn't happen. Jonathan Abraham shouldn't be able to get in there and get a shot on Donovan McNabb.
First and 10 from the Falcons' 30-yard line. McNabb complete to Avant again. Avant gaining 8 more yards down to the Atlanta 22.
Getting into that part of the field, the Eagles have done well moving the ball between the 20s, but when they've gotten down into the red zone, things have started to bog down for them.
4 red zone trips, 1 touchdown, 2 field goals, and a missed field goal. Four wide receivers, 2nd down and 2. The screen to McCoy. First down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. LaShawn McCoy gains 9.
Well, we saw the last time they ran a screen how well Jonathan Babineau did it kind of feeling it. This time it's a better executed screen by the Philadelphia Eagles, and you see how they're able to get Jamal Jackson, Nick Cole out there in front, and those guys just turn and run north and south. Don't try and make any moves on anybody. Run north and south, throw your big bodies at the defender, let the running back make his cuts off the adjustment of the defenders.
10th play of the drive for the Eagles. The slant to Macklin. And Jeremy Macklin gains 7 down to the 7-yard line.
Brent Selleck's a big target down here in this red zone.
He has 8 red zone receptions, Goose, 4 touchdowns. Weaver inside the 5, down to the 4.
Nice tackle by Thomas Deku coming up.
There's Selleck. Suffered a sprained thumb last week, and then during the week, able to sign a 6-year contract extension despite that sprained thumb.
The Philadelphia Eagles being very proactive, and it's been their MO for a while now is extending guys that they think are kind of on the verge of having that breakout season and not allowing them to get to the free agent market.
Right now the Eagles only need about 1.5 feet to get the first down. Michael Vick at quarterback.
Third play today for Michael Vick. Inside the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, his first of the season.
You see, Leonard Weaver helps everybody out. Michael Vick scored the touchdown. He went to throw the ball to the fans in Atlanta, and it hit the net, and it rolled down to the ground.
The more you
Weaver ran over and got it and threw it back into the stands.
The more you can do. He does it on and off the field, Weaver. Great job. I got it to the guy who was wearing the Michael Vick jersey in the stands.
Michael Vick said during the week he would love to score his first touchdown as an Eagle here in Atlanta. Back in Atlanta where moments ago Michael Vick scored his first rushing touchdown since October of 2006.
That's a great drive by this Philadelphia Eagle offense. Their defense makes the big stop going in at halftime. 12 plays, 80 yards.
Lakers kickoff taken at the 2 by Weems. Weems brought down just shy of the 30 by Quinton Michael. All smiles on the Eagles sideline here in Atlanta. Philadelphia now leading 20-0 following Michael Vick's first touchdown this season. Now Chris Redmond and the Falcons go back to work from their own 30-yard line. That pass for Redmond is behind the intended receiver, Jarius Norwood.
It's been so long since Chris has had an opportunity to be the starting quarterback, and one of the things that we don't remember or don't think about is, you know, we talk about mental reps and where practice the starter's going to get them, and you've got to be prepared to go in at any time. Matt Ryan's going to get the majority of those snaps. And one of the things that Chris talked about last week was getting used to the play coming in and the communication and down and distance and play clocks and a lot of the other minutia that goes along with playing the quarterback position that you only experience as the starter. And I'm just wondering, you know, can you get rid of all that in 1 week? Could he have really kind of all of a sudden acclimated himself in that Tampa Bay game to all the other things that go along with being the starter on game day? Or is it going to take him some time to get into a rhythm? Is it too much to expect for Chris to come out here today and play efficiently?
Especially against an Eagles defense that's going to put as much pressure and try to disrupt you as much as possible.
6 starts for the Ravens in 2002, 4 starts for the Falcons in 07. Redmond's pass is caught by Roddy White. Sheldon Brown made the tackle. The 6th completion for Redmond. 4 have gone to White, the other 2 to Gonzalez.
Todd McClure slow getting up. Well, I tell you, now all of a sudden you lose, you know, Harvey Dahl, your right guard, is out. Todd McClure very slow getting up.
McClure making his 124th consecutive start. Third down and 9. Falcons must get to the 40. Redmond rolling right. Looking downfield. Now he throws, and the catch is made. For first down, it's Roddy White again. And he gains 15 yards, and a late flag comes in.
Should get 15 more.
That's exactly what we talked about earlier, though, Darryl. Chris moving his feet and getting out of that pocket and being able to go and see downfield where he's not going to get balls tipped.
Over personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 39. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's the second personal foul today on Quentin Demps.
You better be careful. Sean McDermott's not going to send him back out there today.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
That's,
you know what? Don't give him the opportunity to make the call.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
From the 40 on first down. Redmond going deep. Too far for White.
Watch it coming back, Smooth.
Second and 10 from the 40. Off the fake. Redmond's pass is caught at the 34. Then crawling up to the 32-yard line is Roddy White once again. Gain of 8.
Well, I think the one thing that they're doing, the Atlanta Falcons, is at least going and putting themselves in situations where you can both run and pass the ball. You know, 3rd and 2 is a lot more manageable. Now you're keeping the defense guessing a little bit. It's tough to make a defense guess when it's 3rd and 13 or 3rd and 16.
On 3rd down and 2, the fake to Weems, and then Redmond forced to throw it away as he was pressured by Jason Babin.
This is one of those things that a guy with unique athletic ability can pull off for your defense. Jonathan Babin is going to walk in to the defensive front. Now, he left here and came all the way out here. He did it very quickly. So all of a sudden, you adjust all your coverage down inside, and Jason Babin got everybody to look down into the A gaps, and then all of a sudden was able to release and get to the outside exactly where that play was coming and get to the quarterback, Chris Redmond.
Once again, Mike Smith leaves his offense on the field on 4th down. It's 4th and 2. Redmond on 4th down, and the pass is caught by Gonzalez. Well, the Falcons now 2 for 3 on 4th down today as Gonzalez picks up the first.
Seems like when Chris Redmond gets out of the pocket, Darryl, he's a completely different passer. You watch right here, he scrambles to his left and sees Tony Gonzalez right there in the flat.
Yeah, the big thing, Tony, is just changing that launch angle. We've seen the Eagle defenders being able to get to Chris Redmond because they know where he's going to be when he's going to throw the ball. If all of a sudden you start to dash the pocket or move the pocket, you're in a different spot.
On the 27-yard line, the play blown dead, a false start.
False start, offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Roddy White.
Roddy White comes down on a nice motion, but he just makes a movement to the line of scrimmage, and you can't do that. That's the offsides. You watch it right here. He goes and motions in. That's fine. That's fine. You cannot go towards the line of scrimmage, and that little step right there cost him the offsides.
Now 1st and 15 from the Eagles' 32. Redmond to White. And a terrific tackle made by Macho Harris as White on his 7th reception of the game loses a yard.
He's had a nice game this afternoon. He's been matched up with Tony Gonzalez on a number of occasions, one-on-one. Has played very physical, and here he is again. That quick little screen outside. Roddy White's a big receiver. He recognizes it, attacks it, so Roddy White doesn't have the time to pick him up and make a move on it.
Macho Harris, rookie 5th-round pick out of Virginia Tech. 2nd down and 16 as that is deflected and nearly picked off by Will Witherspoon.
That's the second one today for Will Witherspoon.
Right in the center of your screen. Read the quarterback's eyes. You wonder if he was reading the eyes or watching Jarius Norwood start to break across, but it moved Will Witherspoon right into the throwing lane to Tony Gonzalez.
I think he's reading his eyes. I think Chris isn't doing a good job of going and looking people off. He's looking where he's throwing, and that's what those linebackers are focused in on.
Well, Witherspoon started the season with the Rams, acquired in mid-October. Redmond to Norwood. And Norwood tackled at the 22-yard line, about 5 yards shy of a first down. So what will Mike Smith?
He's going to go for it. Yeah, he's going for it. And you know, that's a great play call. That's good anticipation of what you're going to do on 3rd and 4th down together. You know, sometimes we see a play like that, and then all of a sudden they're deciding what they want to do on 4th down. But in that situation, Mike Mularkey, hey, let's check it down. Let's get some positive yards. Give us an opportunity on maybe a 4th down, and where they're sitting at right now, 5, instead of getting into a 4th and 11.
Falcons 2 for 3 on 4th down. Redmond on 4th and 5, and it's picked off by Sheldon Brown. And Brown is going to take it the distance. 83 yards, his 4th career touchdown.
I don't know, Tony, you just made the comment a couple of plays ago that maybe Chris is looking at things, and he has to be. I mean, Sheldon Brown just had an incredible break on that one.
He was just sitting on it, waiting for that play to be thrown. Watch him right here. Just goes, he's looking in the backfield, boom. I mean, he was breaking to the ball before the receiver even knew the ball was being thrown. Great anticipation by Sheldon Brown.
The 3rd touchdown scored by the Eagles defense this season. 5th interception for Brown. Sheldon Brown's 83-yard interception return for a touchdown has extended the Eagles' lead to 27-0.
I think that hamstring's feeling okay, Goose.
Yeah, it looks a lot better than it did earlier.
Sheldon Brown's 5th pick of the year. Samuel has 7. Falcons trailing 27-0. Go to work from their own 20-yard line. Redmond's pass is caught by Gonzalez. Gonzalez has a first down, gain of 11 out to the 31.
I know we've talked about it, Tony. When you look at a team, whether it's an offense or a defense, you want them to be strong down the middle. And, you know, it's guard, center, guard, quarterback, fullback, you know, running back. As you're talking about an offense, you got your skill players outside. You know, for you guys in Baltimore, you and Sam in the middle, and then Ray, and then, you know, as you went back to Rod Woodson in your safety level. Right now, the offense of the Atlanta Falcons is missing straight down the middle almost everybody in that center area.
And that's the strength of this Philadelphia defense, and that's the big mismatch so far in this game.
From the 31 on first down, Redmond throws. Gonzalez made the catch, took a hit. Gain 6 out to the 37.
Old school. Tony Gonzalez right here takes the shot and never lets the defensive back know that he had a good shot at him, but he's feeling it right now. That was Sheldon Brown unleashed one on him.
But shoulder to the chest, you know, we've seen it a couple times in the game today. That's how you do it. Don't get the 15 yards tacked onto it.
Norwood. Darius Norwood out to the 43-yard line. You saw the note just prior to the play. Tony Gonzalez has set a new franchise record for receptions by a Falcons tight end, Algie Crumpler, 65 back in 2005. Gonzalez approaching 1,000 for his career, which will certainly land him in the Hall of Fame as a 10-time Pro Bowler. 6 catches today, 983 during his 13 seasons. Number 43, Redmond looking for Roddy White. Redmond in trouble on 2nd and 10. He loses the football, but it's recovered by Norwood. The pressure from Jaquay Parker forcing the fumble.
Again, just another one of those little things that you're going to forget about when you're not playing a lot. You got to get the ball secure, tight. You know how aggressive defensive linemen are when they have that opportunity to get the sack fumble or to get their hands to punch that ball out as you start to scramble.
That's a nice job by Jaquay Parker coming all the way around and know where that ball is to punch it out.
Redmond on 3rd and 7, a penalty marker. Norwood, the intended receiver.
Pass interference, defense number 91. Ball's placed at the spot of the foul, first down.
Chris Clemens, Georgia native.
Not a bad choice. You know, right now you're doing a zone blitz, so you're going to drop out Chris Clemens, who's one of your big pass rushers. He's going to come out here, and you're going to bring pressure into the middle with the linebacker and the safety. So there's your zone blitz scheme. You know, you're bringing the second level in to rush the quarterback, and you drop one of your defensive linemen out. So you get Chris Clemens one-on-one with Jarius Norwood. Hey, you know, you might want to take that 5 yards.
First and 10 from the Eagles' 49. Redmond getting rid of it under pressure, and the catch is made for a first down by Roddy White. Gain of 12 with under a minute remaining, third quarter.
It's a nice job by Chris Redmond on this because he's got 2 free blitzers coming from his right side. There you go, Sean Jones, Will Witherspoon, they're going to get there. Stands in the pocket, delivers it out to the left side to Roddy White.
Roddy White over the 100-yard mark for the third time this season.
Ball start, offense, number 84. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
Now, even I knew that one was on 2, Tony, because he called Tuesday. And Tuesday is the second day of the week. So you know it's on 2. I mean, even I knew that here.
That's if you start counting with Monday and not Sunday.
Us football players, the week starts on Monday, and then you finish on Sunday.
You need to
so
relay
we have a different kind of weekly calendar.
Need to relay that information down here to the field.
So let's ask your son, Aiden. Aiden Johnston is here. Does the week start Sunday or Monday? Which one is it in your calendar? He's not sure.
Monday. He's first year padded football this year. He knows Monday's the start of the work week. First
and 15, and Redmond had another pass batted back. This one by Bunkley. 27-0 lead for the Eagles as we begin the fourth quarter. Kenny Albert, Darryl Johnston, and Tony Siragusa here at the Georgia Dome. The Eagles led 13-0 at the half. 2 third-quarter touchdowns as they look to tie the Dallas Cowboys in the wins column. Cowboys and Giants coming up next on Fox. Redmond on 2nd and 15, and the pass is intercepted by Sean Jones. Jones brings it back into Falcons territory. The third Atlanta turnover today. First and 10 from the 45 as McNabb is sacked back at the 50-yard line by Croy Bierman. Back in Atlanta with the Eagles leading the Falcons 27-0. Michael Vick back on the field. He's scored a touchdown. This is 4th snap, 2nd and 15 from midfield. Off the play fake. Vick looking to throw. He fires downfield. And a penalty marker as the catch is made by Reggie Brown at the Falcons' 6-yard line. 44 yards from Vick to Brown. Vick's longest completion of the season.
Pass interference, defense, number 20. The penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
Well, Atlanta fans are used to seeing this little bootleg out the back door, and then here comes that arm. He may be a little bit slower, but there's that familiar motion. Got to get it out a little bit farther. He might have had a touchdown to Reggie Brown. And at the end, number 21, Chris Owens, he's still down on the field. He hurt.
Michael Vick just changed helmets. Now is wearing the green dot. He had not been wearing the green dot when he would come in for one play at a time. You can only have one green dot on the field, so this probably means that we have seen the last of McNabb today.
Yeah, it looks like Michael Vick will be the quarterback for the remainder of this afternoon.
On 1st and goal, Vick with the toss. And the tackle back at the 11-yard line by Jevis Jackson, bringing down Reggie Brown. So the Eagles with a 27-0 lead. Michael Vick with a touchdown in the third quarter. The fans were chanting, "We want Vick," a couple of moments ago, and they've gotten their wish.
That's kind of one of those stories that you really can't write. You come down to Atlanta, where Michael Vick was the first overall draft pick down here for this franchise, and you come in and you play well. You get up 27-0, and as the chance started in the third quarter, Andy Reid calls the timeout, brings Donovan McNabb over. They make the exchange, and now what we really get to do, we get to see an opportunity with Michael Vick as the quarterback who'll be able to stay in. I think this is where you'll be able to evaluate his performance now, because he gets to stay in and be involved in the flow of the game.
Vick inside the 5. And he took a hard hit from Jackson. 3rd and goal upcoming.
You got to have that hit once in a while, man. Get them butterflies out there, get back in the swing of things. And Michael Vick, I think, lugged getting hit on that particular play.
Oh boy, I tell you what, he used to be real elusive, and today he's had a couple of physical finishes on his runs.
Third and goal from the Falcons 5. Vick moving to his left. Now throws right. The catch is made by Selleck. Touchdown. First touchdown pass of the season for Michael Vick.
That's nice to see right there. Donovan McNabb has been such a big supporter of him. He's been so positive through this whole campaign to get Michael Vick as a Philadelphia Eagle, to try and integrate him into their offensive game plan from week to week. There's not many guys that start as quarterback in the NFL that can put their ego aside and share some of the opportunities with Michael Vick.
Akers kickoff taken out of the end zone by Weems. And Eric Weems runs into the arms of Chris Gokong shy of the 20. First and 10 from the 20 for Chris Redmond and the Falcons. Jarius Norwood tripped up, gain of just 1. On second and 10, Redmond throws, and Sheldon Brown got a hand on it. Third and 10, Quentin Demps nearly came up with the pick.
It's been a tough day for Chris Redmond. And I just really think, sometimes we forget when you're away from the game and you haven't had an opportunity to start, how much responsibility is on that quarterback. And this Philadelphia defense, they can make somebody who's been out there on a regular basis have a tough afternoon.
Macklin. Jeremy Macklin to the 32. Ball came loose. But Macklin was ruled down. So the Eagles with a 34-0 lead here in
Rolling
Atlanta.
on the field as the player was down by contact. First down.
Macklin ruled down. There's Michael Vick. He was in for 7 snaps today. Ran for a touchdown. Threw for 1. And now, as he chats with offensive coordinator Marty Morningweg, Kevin Cobb will come in at quarterback. We're in the 4th quarter, so all of the 3rd quarterback rules go out the window. So here's Cobb, who became the first quarterback in league history as he hands off to Eldrin Buckley. First quarterback in league history to throw for 300 yards in each of his first 2 starts. Buckley. Buckley is tackled by Grimes. He looks to have an Eagles first down. Buckley. Don't forget about Donovan McNabb's day either.
Yeah. Well, this whole Eagle team, they really, it was all started by that defense. The goal line stand at the end of the first half. I mean, it was one of those typical Eagle games where they kind of get into that lull and it gets flat for a while. And their defense made a great goal line stand at the end of the first half. Their offense comes out in the 3rd quarter and goes on a 12-play, 80-yard drive. So all that momentum that was built at the end of the first half really carried over into this second half.
They just get better and better as the season goes on. That's not what the Giants or the Cowboys want to hear. Especially with them going at it tonight, huh?
Yeah, the Eagles are a team you better be careful of. The last 3 years, they have played very, very well down the stretch. And, you've got that big Dallas-Philadelphia game looming at the end of the season.
Historically, under Andy Reid, Decembers and regular season games in January have been kind. Philadelphia 28-13. December record 11-3 the last 3 years. Buckley. This is with a win today. Eagles go to 8-4. Falcons would drop to 6-6. Remember, the Falcons have never had back-to-back winning seasons in their 43-year history. They finished 11-5 a year ago under first-year head coach Mike Smith and rookie quarterback Matt Ryan. Eagles all smiles. And guess who will be visiting Atlanta next Sunday? The New Orleans Saints. Potentially coming off a loss.
Exactly.
And how about the Redskins leading New Orleans in the fourth quarter? Could be the first team to knock off the Saints. Think back to the earlier portion of this season. The Redskins were the first team to lose to both Detroit and Kansas City. Imagine if they're the first to beat the Saints.
Well, the beginning of their schedule was the easier part. If you're kind of one of those people that looks at things when they're sitting there, the first half of the Redskins schedule was where they needed to put themselves in position because they had a really, really tough second half of the season, and they were unable to do that. And really, you know, the NFC East in general, there's a lot of interdivisional games down the stretch in this NFC East.
How about the Eagles? They went out to Oakland and lost the game 13-9.
Seems like they always, every year, they have that one game that they just don't play well at all, and that was that
False start offense.
Raider game that nobody would have predicted happened.
It's 4th down.
False start, Leonard Weaver.
Nah, he's just quick. He's lightning quick. That wasn't a false start.
What a game for Weaver.
You know, he had such a great day today, Darryl, and I know you're going to love this. I'm going to actually interview him after this game.
There you go.
Maybe one of the first
Maybe
fullbacks.
one of the first.
I don't know. It is the first fullback, but I'm
We'll
going to do
keep
it for you.
track. Number of fullbacks interviewed by Tony Siragusa. This will be the first. Number of defensive tackles, 7.
Any question you want me to ask him? Anything you want to know?
How does he handle being in and out of the lineup so much and be as productive as he is? I think that's difficult. I talked to Michael Vick before the game, and he talked about needing to be in the flow of the game to be productive, and I always felt the same way. And at the end of my career, I was in and out a lot, and I found it hard. And I think he does a great job of being like that role player that can go in and out of the lineup but still be productive all the time.
Rocca's punt is down inside the 1. Wow. Dimitri Patterson, terrific job to keep it out of the end zone. From the 13-yard line, it's Snelling. Second down and 6. Off the play fake, Redmond to Snelling. And Snelling is close to a first down. Joe Mays the tackle. Redmond to Gonzalez. And he's out to the 47 of Falcons. First down. Falcons now at the 46-yard line, and Darryl, they have not been shut out at home since 1988. It's been 21 years since the Falcons have been shut out in a home game, and that was at Fulton County Stadium.
And Goose, I know how much pride you guys take in being able to do that. It is not easy to shut out a team in the NFL nowadays.
Absolutely not. The situation sometimes, you know, Atlanta had an opportunity to kick a field goal going into the half, but Mike Smith decides to try and go for the 7, which I agree with. And he says, you know, he would have done it. If you had to do it again, he would have done it when I interviewed him going into halftime. But you know, there's your opportunity of getting the 3 on the board. But you're trying to win games. You're not trying to go and not get shut out.
Here's Norwood. Darryl, ready for this?
Yeah.
The last time the Eagles pitched a shutout on the road, Week 3, 1991, 24-0 in Dallas. 2 minutes remaining here in Atlanta with the Eagles shutting out the Falcons 34-0. 3rd down and 10. Redmond over the top. Snelling. And Jason Snelling picks up a first down to the Eagles' 42.
Again, we've talked about Jason Snelling and how important he is in his role for this Falcons team. And it just shows you right here. It's 34-0. He's still playing hard. All these guys, they don't want to be the first team to have a home shutout here in 21 years. You just don't want to be a part of some of those types of records.
That's definitely a record you don't want no part of.
1st and 10 from the Eagles' 42. Redmond to Brian Finneran, the former Eagle out of Villanova University, returning today after missing the last 3 games with a knee injury. Redmond's pass deflected and then caught by Jarius Norwood, and he takes it down to the 15.
We've seen a number of those today. That had to be part of this Philadelphia Eagles defensive game plan, was getting your hands up inside against Chris Redmond. But this is the first time they've had one of those bounces go their way.
Trevor Law's got a hand on it. Under 1 minute remaining, 4th quarter. Eagles looking to preserve the shutout. Redmond backpedaling now, throws too far for Roddy White.
Well, it was tight going in at halftime as Michael Vick makes his return here to the Atlanta area. That goal line stand really kind of changed the entire complexion of the game. It could have been a 1-possession game coming out in the second half. But Philadelphia stops Atlanta. They come out offensively, score a touchdown. Also a defensive interception return for a touchdown in that 3rd quarter. And it's been a tough day for Chris Redmond and this whole Atlanta offense. And I really feel, obviously with Matt Ryan and Michael Turner out, they're not going to be the same. But they've lost Todd McClure. Harvey Dahl wasn't in.
Redmond to Gonzalez. And he's tackled by Tracy White at the 2-yard line. "20 seconds remaining." And obviously, if the Falcons wanted to avoid the shutout, they could have sent on the field goal unit, but they're going for the touchdown.
No, exactly. Unfortunately, you could be a member of that team that has the first home shutout in 21 years, but you got to score a touchdown.
Here's Redmond to the end zone, and it's Roddy White who makes the catch for a Falcons touchdown.
A couple of fortunate bounces on this drive for the Atlanta Falcons. Finally have some things go their way, but this should stand as a touchdown. Should be pass interference against Tracy White.
Pass interference defense, number 52. The clock also expired. That penalty is declined. The play resulted in a touchdown.
Deflected off Gonzalez.
Clock expired on the play, however, we will extend for the try for
Roddy
point
White,
by rule.
who caught the game-winning touchdown in the final minute last week against Tampa Bay. A little different scenario today. And here's Matt Bryant, who was signed this Monday to replace Jason Elam, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He was kicking 9 days ago in the UFL Championship game in Las Vegas. Kicks the extra point for the Falcons. So Atlanta avoiding their first ever shutout in this building. A triumphant return to Atlanta for Michael Vick.